If you've ever wanted to renounce the world and or literally become a monk or a nun, this is for you. We'll take a quick look at the ideals and traditions of renunciation and monasticism. The first thing is, we'll try not to see it through only a negative lens, because renunciation is not just about giving things up. More than just dispassion for the world, it means longing for communion with Spirit. For example, in the New Testament, Jesus says, "Sell all that you have and give it to the poor, and follow me." Renunciation and monasticism embraces that ideal. True renunciation is the total absence of selfish motives, not the mere abstinence from physical contact with nice food and drink and housing, etc. True renunciation does not come by laborious efforts, but comes spontaneously for whatever is appropriate in the moment. You don't really renounce things so much as they drop away from you on their own when they're not needed. You're attached to only that which has deep meaning for you. When things become irrelevant or useless to you, when things lose their meaning or their value, you automatically detach from them. The beginning of the realization of your aloneness provides the spark which ignites the spirit of detachment. However, once you've realized the eternal relation between the eternal God and the eternal soul, things begin to shift. You are now ready to embrace what you had previously renounced. All the apparent contradictions stand resolved suddenly. In that state of harmony, says Vivekananda, all delusion disappears. Then the illusion of the world, or Maya, instead of it being considered a horrible, hopeless dream, it becomes beautiful, and this earth, instead of being like a dungeon or a prison, becomes like a playground. Dangers and difficulties, even all sufferings, become deified or divinized, and they reveal more and more about the true nature of God or the universe. They reveal that behind everything is God standing as the One. And so you don't renounce anything anymore, because you are all and everything. You began the spiritual quest by renouncing, by negating, by separating, but you now end it by embracing, affirming, and unifying. If you really do want to live more like a monk, consider the words of Swami Vivekananda from the Ramakrishna Order of India. He says there have been and continue to be monks in almost all known religions, but actually a monk or a sannyasin cannot belong to any religion, for his is a life of independent thought, which draws from all religions. His is a life of realization, not merely theory or belief, and much less dogma. The real aim of sannyas, or being a monk, is for one's highest freedom and for the benefits of the world. There must not be the slightest divergence between your words and actions, but thought is all important for what we think we become. Are you the slave of lust or gold or status or fame or learning or scholarship? It is only after freeing oneself from all this thraldom that one can progress towards true freedom. And yet, monks are not idle. They are a fountainhead of activity. Monks should inspire householders in all noble causes, by embodying in their lives the highest principle of giving up everything for the sake of God and for the good of the world. To go ahead of others in salvation is wrong. Sooner or later, you will learn that in order to achieve salvation, you must seek the salvation of your brothers. It is for the good of the many that the monk is born. His life is indeed all in vain who embrace monasticism. Forget this ideal. The sannyasin was born into the world to lay down his or her life for others, to stop the bitter cries of men, to wipe the tears of the widow, to bring peace to the soul of the bereaved mother, to equip the ignorant masses for the struggle of existence, to accomplish the secular and spiritual well-being of all through the distribution of spiritual teachings, to arouse the sleeping lion of God in all of us. And so, what is there to sit idle for? Arise, awake, wake up yourselves and awaken others. Achieve the consummation of human life before you pass away. Arise, awake, and don't stop until the goal is reached. You must be prepared to go into deep meditation 1 minute, and the next moment be ready to cultivate the fields. The aim of this institution is to make men. You must not merely learn what the rishis of old have taught, you must be rishis yourselves. The Vedic rishis did not feel conflict between work and spirituality as Indians of a later age felt. They did not shirk at the responsibility of social service. The ideal they represented is what we now call the rishi ideal. The three fundamental principles of the rishi ideal are divinity, universality, and positivity. The positive approach to life which characterized the Vedic age was an attitude of acceptance of everything as divine and useful. It was this attitude that produced not only the greatest sages, but also the greatest heroes, which made India the wealthiest nation on earth, made arts and sciences flourish, and raised culture to its highest level at that time. Unfortunately, this positive attitude was gradually lost in India during the Middle and Dark Ages. Perversion of Advaita Vedanta philosophy led to the development of a negative attitude towards life, which looked upon life as evil and looked upon the world as a meaningless, dreary illusion. But Swami Vivekananda believed that the purpose of his teacher's life and the meaning of his teachings and his goal was towards the recovery of the rishi ideal. Work is raised to the level of worship of God and man. Also, it enhances the dignity of a monk. He is no longer looked upon as a parasite upon society. The spirit of harmony and acceptance is another distinctive feature. It is central that all spiritual paths, when followed with purity of heart, will ultimately lead to salvation or self-realization. And so all prophets are worshipped, all scriptures are accepted as worthy of study. Equal respect for all religions and their teachers is a central demand of every true monk. To have a cohesive society where everyone is free to be himself, but without depriving others of the same freedom, and always with the consciousness that we are not separate from each other. This is a model to follow, and in any case is a worthwhile experiment. Monastic orders can be small, but still significant. We can raise life with all its beauty and ugliness up to the status of worship. We can make everything spiritual, remind man of his divine potentials, elevate service to man into worship of God in man, and reject all artificial divisions of religion, race, and country to forge unity among all.